Amalgamation Nation, the AM Nation pod, your source for gaming, sports, anime news, and so much more. Today, we got a sport episode we'll get into, as we do on these Wednesday evenings. We'll talk about the Chicago Bears and how bad they truly are. We'll talk about some of the good things around the NFL as well. Talk a little Packers, talk a little Thursday Night Football, AM Nation parlay. Last week, ours did not hit. We'll get into that. But we will talk about this week and see if maybe we can get one to hit this week. Before we do that, as always, I am the anime watching, booty knife gang repping, John Cena's bestie, the Shaq Daddy himself, Ryan Green Machine, Ebner. And you can find the show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. It's at AM Nation Pod. Hit the follow button on all those. We appreciate that very much. You can listen to the show on podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more. Just search Amalgamation Nation. You can also look us up on YouTube as well. It's youtube.com/AMNationPod. Hit the follow button on all that as well. This little bell icon. Hook us up. You know what I'm saying? Twitch.tv/UndeadBlackBulls where you find David streaming, and you can give him a follow and a sub. If you do have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Gaming sub a month, so give it to Undead Black Bull. And of course, you can help support the show at no extra cost to you by using the Epic Games content creator code AMNationPod. So whether you're playing Fortnite, Rocket League, maybe you're on the Epic Game Store getting that free shit on your PC, use that code AMNationPod to help support the show at no extra cost to you. Joining me today, Petey Tahiti Argus. Pete, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's already Wednesday. I feel like this week has flown by. First time I was in the office yesterday, So that was a little weird. But no, overall doing well. Knee is progressing. Found out this morning at physical therapy that I happen to be doing exercises similar to the great Aaron Rodgers. So are me and Aaron Rodgers similar? Some might say. But yeah, I'm doing well, man. Knee's doing well. I mean, we're in the heart of football season. We're in October now. It's a great month for sports. So I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
Doing good. Back on night shift this week, so that's cool. Adjusting to that a little bit. But other than that, doing pretty good. You and Rogers, you guys on the same ayahuasca program too? Is that how that?
I am not. No, I'm not at this time. No,
at this time.
Not yet, man.
Yeah,
it's not me.
It's on the program. It's on the program. You just haven't reached that yet. I understand. I get it. Yeah, that's when you fully become Rogers. Come out of the darkness. It'll be a good vibe. Comes out of the darkness and he's all good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the news, also make sure you follow Elaine on Twitter at I'm a Rain Dancer. Check out her podcast, Grace by Rain, wherever you listen to the AM Nation pod. Elaine is excited. Women's hockey's back. She's going to be covering that for the Professional Women's Hockey League. She also covers some of the AHL teams, including the Grand Rapids Griffins, Cleveland Monsters. She'll talk a little Blue Jacket stories and NHL stories at times as well. Just follow her on Twitter. Like I said, at I'm a Rain Dancer. And she will have all those links up and running. So there you go. Pete, let's just do it. Let's just talk about it. Postseason's happening in case people didn't know for baseball. You know what I mean? It's happening.
Yeah, I mean, for most of this podcast, BK, like, good for the O's. They're just sitting at home, just waiting to play baseball. But yeah, our teams stink. So yeah, Cubs blew it the last few weeks, not making the playoffs. But you know what? This is a positive time. I don't want to get into the whole Cubs thing. We can get into that like November, like when the season ends, we talk some free agency. That's where I can vet out everything that I had in terms of frustrations for the Cubs. But overall, you talk to past Pete in March, April, and you look at that record, you're like, hey, yep, that's exactly what I thought. About 83, 84 wins, that's what the Cubs would be. And that's what they kind of wound up with. But mid-season, obviously that changed. But I digress. And yes, Ryan, I love that you put in here that the Cubs and the White Sox are both out. So yes, the White Sox are now in the postseason as well. Want to let the people know?
We're not there. Just want people to know, hey, White Sox didn't make it. You know what I mean? Didn't get there. But what we did do, 100 losses. We did. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty sweet.
That is cool.
I didn't actually look
Yeah.
up the last time the White Sox lost 100 games, but either way, we did lose 100. So, like, if you're going to be bad, at least be really bad. You know what I mean?
It's a really good point. It's a really good point, especially for baseball. So
Yeah.
but no, I mean we're in the middle of wild card right now. A couple teams have already advanced. The Minnesota Twins finally won a postseason game. It took them forever, but they finally won a postseason game, and they were like, "Heck with it! You know what? We really like this winning thing. Let's just do it again." And they won their next game against Toronto. And breaking news, they're moving on. So they're going to be playing here in the next round. They'll be playing the Houston Astros. The other part of the AL was the game that really no one really went to when it came to a series, Texas against Tampa. Tampa yesterday for game one had a total of just under 20,000 fans, 19,000. So Tampa, way to show out. Way to show out for postseason baseball. I know it wasn't in like people can say the excuse of like, oh, the game was during the afternoon, whatever. It's no excuse. It's absolutely no excuse. There for the Rays, have something like that. Texas beats them down in game one, beats them down in game two. The AL is looking real fun. I mean, Twins, Astros. I mean, probably from your perspective, Ryan, you probably don't want either team to win, which I kind of get. I don't want either team to win. So I think we're kind of banking on Texas or Baltimore. Am I right? Am I right in saying that?
That's right. This is a Baltimore Pro podcast. All right, we're doing it. We ride or die for our boy BK. So we're rolling with the O's during the month of October here. Everyone else, they could just suck it. You know what I mean? We're rolling with the O's.
I like it. So should we call it like oral? No. I can't say it. I was trying to say like Oraltober, but it wasn't really going to pan out. So Botober. Maybe Botober?
Botober, baby. Woo!
Botober, maybe that'll catch on. I don't know. But yeah, we'll cheer for Baltimore. NL side, not really. Well, I guess somewhat of a surprise. We got Arizona leading 1-0 over Milwaukee. Game 2 is just about to start here shortly. And then we have Miami against Philly. Philly won game 1. They're in that series. So that's really all we got here for baseball. I'm going to be excited for when it gets to the division series, championship series. I don't like how baseball set this up, though. And I know from like a day's perspective they had to do this, but to have the division series start on Saturday, I'm going to be watching college football. I'm just not. I mean, yes, will I tune in? Probably for some of it, yes. I mean, if you have some duds, they're in college football, but like, why? Just, oh, God. Just the scheduling was totally messed up. Maybe you do the wild cards like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then maybe you start on Monday. I don't know. Then it's too big of a delay, so I kind of get what they're going for. But, yeah, they got to compete with football. So I guess now I'm talking myself into this. Maybe it was better to do Saturday and Sunday. Because Sunday they were, nope, that was not going to happen. Probably for Sunday. They don't want to compete probably with the NFL. But yeah, that's kind of baseball where we're at right now. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, this is a good part of sports season. You got football right in the full swing of things, and postseason baseball. So I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah, postseason baseball here, Botober, as we've now named it, Botober for Baltimore. It's gonna be a great time. I guess as a White Sox fan, I should probably root for the Marlins, right? I think like the whole team's down there in Miami now, so shout out to them, former White Sox down in Miami. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, great baseball. For me, I'm just happy it's done. That's all. I'm just happy it's done.
I get it.
Yeah. Also, I did look it up. It's two of the last 6 seasons the White Sox have lost 100 games. Those would be the 200 lost seasons in my lifetime as a White Sox fan. So,
wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Woo! Love it. All right, let's get to college football. As you said, Texas is 5-0 for the first time since 2009. Pete. Texas so back, and they play Oklahoma this week.
Texas is so back. It would be so Texas for them to lose Oklahoma. Let's just be honest. That would be so Texas. Like, Everyone's crowning them. They're doing great. They lose to Oklahoma. I can easily see that as a game. Whoa!
Oh,
Oh!
ho, ho,
Whoa, whoa,
hello.
whoa!
Joining us right live from North Carolina, Brendan BK Kennerly. BK, how are you? I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my mom got this for me years ago when obviously I had a French bulldog still. So yeah.
We just talked about how the show is now becoming a Baltimore Orioles show for this postseason for you. So we're all in on it. We're all in.
I endorse it.
Yeah, Pete has nailed it as Bo-tober for us. Bo-tober.
Nice. Because Natty Bo, I get it.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
There we go.
BK, before we continue on then, I mean, like, where's your expectations at then right now?
Definitely higher than when I came into the season. If the O's don't make the ALCS, I'm gonna be disappointed. Especially with getting the first round bye. That honestly helped us out a whole bunch because we were just burning through our bullpen down the stretch. Part of the reason is Felix Bautista. There was maybe a shot he was going to come back here for a postseason run with the UCL like tear. It wasn't like a full on like tear. He didn't fully rip it. So there was hopes that he could come back, and he was actually like pitching the other day. I think it was maybe less than a week ago. He was actually doing like simulated at bats with Ryan Mountcastle, and just like they said, he just doesn't look the same. Not worth it. Just shut him down. So now he's out all of next year, and obviously this postseason runs, which sucks. But still, I expect us to make it to the ALCS. It'd be great if we made the World Series. Because I couldn't get tickets to the ALCS. I was trying. It was so hard getting tickets, like getting into the queue and everything. And by the time that I was in there to get tickets, it was like really bad seats, like in the left field upper reserve, like last few rows for like $80-$90 a head. And I was like, no. I won't do that. I won't do that. But if they do make the World Series, I'm gonna try to get some of those and go up for a game. So I just make the ALCS. Next year, let's make the series. Hopefully, win it. But so that's my expectations.
Oh yeah, ALCS are bust, baby. Let's get it. Bo-tober. I'm ready. Speaking of, then we're talking about Colorado, USC. Colorado looked way better versus USC than they did against Oregon. So that's good. I guess that's a plus for Dion and the boys. But USC continues to roll. This is a good team, dude. It's kind of what happens when you have the best football in college football, or best quarterback in college football. You know what I'm saying? Future Bear, Caleb Williams.
Well, I think they're overrated. Like just because I think that defense is bad. It's another Lincoln Riley team with a bad defense. Mm-hmm. It's on. Like I mean, like we've seen this story before. Like so, they're just gonna they're just gonna let you down when it gets to playoff time, if not slightly before then. Because I mean, do we feel confident about USC going against the likes of Oregon, Utah? I don't.
No.
Nope. That's a good point. They got a bad defense. USC, the Trojans' defense, just not good. It's all Caleb Williams or bust. It's kind of what it feels like. And then you look at a team like Oregon that is really the complete package. I think we saw that and how they dismantled Colorado a couple weeks ago. They on both sides of the ball are clicking. Bo Nix just doing it, getting it done, dude. What an absolute stud. Bo Nix from Auburn to Oregon. Kids getting it done.
6 years of college football will do that for you. So,
yeah, Stetson Bennett. Yeah. Ask him, dude. Poor Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, essentially. West Coast Stetson Bennett. That's what we should call him.
Oh, poor Bo. Any other big games this week? I'm kind of running through it here. I know Oklahoma and Texas is the big one. LSU, Missouri, both those teams are ranked. That'll be pretty good. Notre Dame's got Louisville. And shout out to Notre Dame last week against Duke. Good game from them with Sam Hartman. But we'll see, man. Oklahoma and Texas, what time is that at, too? 11 o'clock, dude? 11 a.m. Central Time?
So it's so funny that they have like these rivalries, and it's always that time for this one. And then the Michigan-Ohio State game is always like 11 Central, noon Eastern, all the time. I don't get it. Like, it's weird. It's just weird. That's just how they do it. It's how they do it, though. I mean, you start your day, boom, primetime game. That's where you get it.
Boom.
I kind of
Just
like it.
tradition.
Start the day off with a bang. Like literally, just get out the gates.
Yeah.
Honestly, we need some college football teams in London so we can just wake up and then bang, boom, Irish Coffee's college football.
That was
Don't
good.
hate it.
That was good.
It has happened. So just like because the Fighting Irish, beloved Fighting Irish, have played a couple times now in Ireland. They played Northwestern and what was the other? Wisconsin?
Navy, I think.
Navy. That's who it was this year. I feel like Wisconsin's played over there before recently. I'll look that up.
Yeah, playing over there across the pond. It's a good time. Speaking of across the pond, we had Jaguars and Falcons across the pond this past weekend on the Toy Story stream, dude. Did either of you gentlemen check out the Toy Story stream?
I did watch. At the beginning, wow, the first drive, could they not figure out that telecast? It was weird. Like Booger, and I don't know who the other guy was that was with him. Totally forgetting his name. Sorry, dude. But they just like had it zero in on that broadcast, and then like the game was going on in the background, like, and you had no idea what was happening. It's oh. ETN ran for 4. It's like, what? The guy had no idea what's happening. And then I was like, me and my brother-in-law Adam, we were watching it, and we're like, dude, we're over this, right? Like, I mean, I'm trying to watch a football game at this point. So then we watched the normal telecast, and then a couple of my nieces wanted to watch because it was a Toy Story game, because we were at my mother-in-law's house. So we put that on. So we turned it back, went to Disney Plus. And they fixed it. Looked so much better. And it was so hilarious seeing the Desmond Ritter pick 6 on the Toy Story broadcast was just so funny. Like, because you just saw the pick and then you see him, like, running the little character. And then he just goes to the end zone. And then you just see, like, Woody and Buzz and all that just, like, all celebrating the touchdown. And they could not, I mean, when you, like, the girls could not get enough of it. They just thought it was so funny. Just that whole telecast. Like, but I mean, I thought it was a cool, unique idea. And yeah, I mean, I was all about it, and it was just funny because it was like those two teams that was like, hey, let's do this for a Toy Story game. I mean, they're not going to do a Toy Story game for this weekend, but it is kind of cool.
They should have done one for the Thursday night game this week for Bears and Commanders. That would have been great. BK, did you get to see the Toy Story broadcast, or did you only watch the regular one?
So, well, before I do that, Wisconsin hasn't played in Ireland yet, but the reason it popped in my head is because they're talking about their games with Pittsburgh in 2027 and in 2026. Those games they're in talks to move those games to Ireland, with like Wisconsin being home for one and Pittsburgh being home for one. So like, I'm not completely crazy, but it hasn't happened yet. Okay. So just for everyone out there, I did watch a little bit. We were traveling that day. We were coming back from the beach, so we caught the tail end of it. Like, got home, immediately went to Disney Plus and put on the Toy Story game, and it was funny. It was, it's interesting. It's not the greatest, like the Desmond Ritter fumble there at the end. They weren't ready for that. It was like they didn't really know how to display that on screen. It was just like, oh, like, and he kind of like it kept running with the ball. Then all of a sudden, like it looked funny. But no, it's cool, and I think. It's really great that P2's nieces really enjoyed it, because I mean, that's exactly what they're going for. Honestly, that's why they're doing the Nickelodeon. That's why they're doing this. Clearly, it's working, and so the NFL is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, and it wasn't that bad. Like, could it have been better? Of course, but it worked. You could see what team was like. Who you differentiate the teams. Slinky is the yard marker. That was tight.
Yeah,
so
that
good.
was great.
So good.
Oh, and the goalposts, how the goalposts actually say like goalposts, they're like little blocks, and the field goal they come down. And I was like, all right, yeah, like I'm on board.
That's cool.
It was really cool. I enjoyed it. I think at one point we were watching it, and like someone turned on the jets, and like they had the fire burning under their feet as they were running, and I was like, ooh, shit, Jets are on. Oh shit. Bijan Robinson juking somebody out in the Toy Story world was hilarious to me. Like absolutely hilarious. The dude just falls over, and I'm just like, this is great. I enjoyed it. I had no problem with it. I liked it. Detroit and the Packers kicked off the week last week. Detroit really came out of the gate hot, rocking the Packers. It actually screwed our parlay probably a little bit more. We had Dobbs over 3.5 receptions, nailed it. St. Brown over 70 yards receiving, did not nail it. Jordan Love over 16.5 yards rushing, did not nail it. Laporta 40 yards receiving, nailed it. And I think Goff also missed the 225 because they didn't have to throw the ball anymore. That was kind of shitty. But, Pete, your thoughts on what happened there with the Packers in a big game against Detroit?
Yeah, that was a pooper. That was a real pooper of a game. And it was so annoying because, like, the next day we have, like, our morning meeting. And everybody's like, oh, Pete, how you doing? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm doing fine, man. It's Friday. Like, why would I not be doing fine right now? And they're like, oh, with the Packers. I was like, Packers didn't play last night. I don't know what you're talking about. So they definitely didn't play last night. But no, I mean, this is what I think this Packers season is going to be. It's ups and downs. It's ups and downs. You have the week prior, they had that huge comeback versus the Saints. They look really good. They're feeling great about themselves. And it was a nice dose of reality. I don't feel as bad because Detroit's really good. And they beat Kansas City. So I don't feel as bad about losing to Detroit, which, I mean, hey, that just sounds weird in general to say that at this point, losing to the Detroit Lions. But overall, I mean, there's not really too much I can really take from this game. I mean, the Packers lost the line of scrimmage so badly on offense, and their defense is not really made for having deficits because teams can basically just easily run on them. And that's really what they're kind of set up for. They're set up for having a lead, getting after with the pass rush, and, you know, forcing turnovers. So I'm not taking too much from this. It was good that they fought in the second half. The first half, oh my God. We were watching the game, and Molly has a volleyball here on Thursday, so we were out at volleyball watching this. Like, after her game, there's a couple Browns fans that are with me, and they're like, hey, this is what it's like watching the Browns for years. Now you know how it feels to be a Browns fan. And I was like, wow, this is rough. All right, this is rough. I mean, like, it was bad. So I'm just thankful the Packers don't have to play the Lions every week right now. It's nice to have a little mini bye week. I'm intrigued to see how they do this weekend or this Monday night against Vegas. And then they have another kind of like, well, now a real bye week afterwards, which is kind of needed because they got some injuries right now. But yeah, Detroit's good. I mean, Detroit confirmed it. I mean, they're really for real, and they should be talked about, you know, as probably one of the best teams in the NFC after that.
Yeah. You did mention what it's like being a Browns fan. I think that's what it's like to be a Bears fan right now. Okay. Let me, let's talk about it. All right. Bears. This is a weird tale that was on Sunday, right? Two of the worst teams, or probably the two worst teams in the NFL right now, Chicago Bears, Denver Broncos. The Bears came out scorching hot, dude. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I was just shocked. I didn't even have the game on in the beginning. I went to the gym with my brother and Tito and them, so I was like, oh, I'm not even paying attention to this. I didn't want to, but I was playing Danny this week in fantasy, and he had Justin Fields, so I'm like, uh-oh. Getting a lot of Justin Field notifications. Uh-oh. That's weird. So the Fields, career day for Fields, right? 16 straight completions. That's a Bears record. 335 yards passing on 28 for 35. That's a career high for him. 4 passing touchdowns. That's a career high for him. He had that pick at the end there, and he did have that fumble, which, you know, the fumble turned into a touchdown. That was rough, but, like, literally he, like, turned around and the guy defender was right in his face. So, like, great blocking. Good boys. Way to go. Other than that, Justin Fields, you had a great game. He really did. Now, what you take from that is a little rough because I think the Broncos might have the worst secondary in the NFL. So that's one thing, right? This is the second time a team lost after a quarterback had 300 yards and 4 touchdowns ever in the NFL. So there you go. Fun fact. They were up 28-7 with less than 3 minutes to go in the third. And they lost 31-28, boys. Wow. they got a short turnaround week. They play tomorrow night, Thursday night, against Washington. I know David and others were sharing the whole thing about reportedly, Eberflus could be fired if they lose to Washington on Thursday. I don't know. Won't buy it till I see it. That doesn't seem like a Bears thing to do or a Chicago sports thing to do. Man, that defense sucks. That Bears defense is awful. Really, really bad. Like I said, you can take from this that Justin looked really good, which is awesome. Like, I was shocked, absolutely shocked. And going back and watching some of the tape, Justin made a lot of good throws. Justin looked a lot better in general, right? Not staring down the guys as much. Trying to look some people off a little bit. He just looked more comfortable. Honestly, he just looked way more comfortable back there. Again, it's going to be hard to kind of take that because you're looking at it in the sense of Denver's that awful, right? But at the same time, that's a good confidence booster for Justin. But then, like, after him having that career day, right, the fumble happens, and then they just decide, you know what? Let's just run the football, Khalil Herbert, the whole time. Let's not even throw it anymore, right? Like, after Justin was dotting up them the whole game, having a great game, and they said, you know what? No. Because he had, like, I think 285 yards going into the second half, right? Like, something crazy like that, or going into the fourth, whatever it was. And then they just didn't throw the ball anymore. 4th and 1, you run up the gut with Khalil Herbert. That seems kind of stupid. That doesn't seem like a great call. At this point, as a Bears fan, hey, we got the 1 and 2 pick as of right now. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That hasn't happened since 1992, in case you're curious. Lil Rye guy was just going around at that point, 1992, just fresh out the womb. You know what I'm saying? So it's historically bad right now for them. Tough day. Don't really put a lot of that on Justin. He had a good game. Put a lot of it on the coaching there. Bad decision making. I think Eberflus has like 2 wins, 4 wins, and it's like really bad. It's not good. So shout out to the Bears, dude. Not great. Hopefully they fire him this week. That'd be the best part. I don't know how I feel about Thursday Night Football. We'll do that when we talk about our parlay, but like I don't feel good this week going against it. But if y'all got anything you want to add, feel free. No? The Bears, anything? No? Bad?
No, it is bad. It's bad. It's really bad. There's not really much else to say. And yeah, I mean, the most I feel like disheartening thing I feel like as a Bears fan is like you have a coach in Eberflus where he's supposed to be this defensive guy, and I mean, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. Is the defense worse now with Eberflus?
Yep.
Than it was like when he took over?
Yep.
Like that just can't happen. Like I can see if the offense sucks. Like I get it. Like I could. I mean, the Bears have been known it's like never having a good offense, but it's always been a good defense. And I feel like once you don't have that, it's like, wow, that's really bad. So, and also, I mean, a few of the decision making, like the one where like he just went for it and didn't kick the field goal, like at the tie game. Take the 3, man. Take the 3. Like, what are we doing? Like, just wow. Some of those decisions are not great. And yeah, I don't have to tell you this. Been a while since I've gotten a win. So it's really tough for me to say Eberflus is the guy. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, we are approaching 1 full calendar year since the Bears last got a dub, boys. We are fastly approaching it. Yeah.
Whoa!
It was like October 20-something of last year, I think. So we are like right
Yikes. There. Hey, setting records. Just the dad kind.
Ryan, so say he loses on Thursday and he keeps his job. There is no way, if it gets to like exactly a year, there's no way he still keeps his job. There's no way. Like you cannot do that. Like that's literally like keeping a coach like after the Lions and Browns, didn't win a game. Like you can't just based off principle can't do it. That's just so bad.
Yeah. I would assume he'd be gone at that point. It is frustrating. The personnel they added on defense, that's not panning out right now. You got to wonder, is it the scheme? Is it just bad signings? I don't know. We'll see. DJ Moore looked really good this week with Fields. Like, that was cool. That was actually really dope. So that was the best part of it all, was Fields having a really good game. But other than that, it is atrocious. And God bless anybody. I'm on night shift this week, so like I don't feel like I might have to. I don't think I have to watch that Thursday night game. God bless me for that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Cyberhacks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Because otherwise I'd be one of the poor souls at home watching that one, and I don't think I'm gonna be. So thank goodness, thank the Lord above on that one. But anybody that does have to watch that game on Thursday, ooh-wee. Sorry. Oof.
See, this is where just love yourself and actually love real NFL football, and just don't watch Thursday night football like fucking ever. That's just simple thing to do. Just take it out of your life, pretend like it doesn't fucking exist, and then you're just you're a happier person.
I'm partially with BK now. So the Packers didn't play last Thursday. That's what I'm taking out of what he just said. That game did not happen. That wasn't a real game. Doesn't count.
Exactly. See, like tomorrow, Ryan, tomorrow doesn't exist in your world, and nor should it. But I will say about Fields real quick. We were taking a big old dump on his chest after week 3 there when he just looked, like he was doing his best Joe Burrow impression. And but hey, you know what? He stepped up. And he played a lot better this week. Because look, we were saying like, hey, we might have to move on from this guy. And it was like week 3, and it's slightly overreaction, but it seems like he wasn't progressing and getting better. So to see him kind of step up, play a heck of a lot better, that's got to give you some confidence going forward. He was getting a lot of people involved offensively as well. Cole Kmet, Khalil Herbert was heavily involved. So that's good. That's very good facing forward. It's just that, that defense is just atrocious, and it just doesn't make sense with their signing. So I don't know if that's on the coaching, or is that Pace? Was Pace banging the drum? Like, I don't know. We don't know at this point. But if they get rid of Eberflus and the defense doesn't get any better, then Pace needs to be packing his bags then, because it's some bad signing. People that are getting paid a lot of money to not play good football.
Yeah, and Ted Phillips, in case anybody's curious, those were his last signings, was Ryan Pace, who then hired Matt Eberflus. So Kevin Warren really doesn't have any allegiance to them. So if Kevin decides, all right, this is not okay, right? Again, I will just say this before closing thoughts on the Bears, want to move on. As a thing, it's been like hit on so much this summer, as I talked about the White Sox a lot, and the Bulls, right, is it goes far beyond your team presidents or whatever. It's an owner issue. It still is. The McCaskey family, that's an issue. George McCaskey, a guy that claims to say, I'm just a fan, right? That's it. I don't actually have anything, I don't know nothing really about football like that, but still continues to get involved when it comes to like decision making on the football process. Gotta go, right? I mean, it's the same thing with Reinsdorf. With Reinsdorf, it just feels the same. It's an owner situation, whereas they can't get out of their own way, and that is quite unfortunate. But I'll leave it at that. We had a couple overtime games. The Eagles survived against Washington in overtime. Washington, pretty scrappy team, dude. Pretty fun team. If Sam Howell had any type of offensive line, maybe we'd look a little bit better. He is getting absolutely dismantled every single time. I think, what was it last week? He's on pace for like over 100 sacks. That's awful. That's really, really bad. But the Eagles get it done in overtime. Again, the theme of the week, every show, what I say, we haven't seen the Eagles even hit their stride yet. Like, it seems like they're having a hard time rolling right now, but they're still getting dubs. But it's just they haven't flown. They haven't taken off yet. You know what I'm saying?
Now Eagles fly.
Yeah, no fly, dude.
They're a grounded bird. They're the Penguins. They're the Philadelphia Penguins.
Oh my goodness, the Philly
Or
Penguins.
dodos, whatever you want to say. Whatever flightless bird. Philadelphia ostrich. Philadelphia emu. I don't
didn't
know
know-
many other flightless birds.
I didn't know that
no.
BK, you were such a bird expert. You seem like you're locked in. Yeah. Must be a Ravens
Well,
fan.
I'm quite the ornithologist.
Damn, you actually wow. Look at this
Wow.
guy. Takes
Well, I
a-
mean,
Woo.
he is an Orioles fan, so that makes sense.
and a Ravens
I
fan.
don't even know about birds. Yeah, Ravens fan too. Yeah, it's all birds. But I mean, honestly, to this game for the Eagles, like they struggled against Washington last year. I mean, this was their one loss was Washington. The other game they also struggled in. So, but I'm an Eagles fan. Sometimes, I mean, division games, they just know you well, and for some reason, Washington matches up really well with Philly. So yeah, I mean, you got to feel kind of good if you're a Washington fan. You got poo-pooed on by Buffalo the week prior, and then you came out and you almost could have won this game. I am so pissed off. I was watching this on Red Zone. How do you not go for two there? How do you not go for two if you're Ron Rivera? You're called Riverboat Ron. You're on the road. You need 2 yards to win the football game against the Eagles. You have the Eagles right on like the edge, and you're like, nope, get the extra point. We'll play for overtime. That's stupid. That is just dumb to me. You could have had a chance to win because you knew once it got into overtime, not going to happen.
Mhm.
Not going to happen against a more talented team. So I'm a little disappointed in Ron Rivera on that.
Well, see, the only reason I don't think that they went for 2 is because they had no timeouts and everyone was losing their minds at that point on the like, not Hail Mary, but like last second like touchdown, like that they were not organized and ready at all. I think to get a play onto the field in time, at least for something that they would like to have a chance to win the game. That's the only reason why. I do agree. Like Ron should have been preparing for that, like or at least like the old coordinator,
Yes.
like, hey, what's the plan if we get
Good
it?
point.
But like
Boom.
if they would have had the timeout, I think they would have gone for 2. But they were completely out, and like they just everyone was
point.
too busy losing their shit, which is like, but like, that goes back to Riverboat Ron. Once again, not being prepared as a head coach.
Yeah.
Not playing to win. You know what I'm saying? Playing to survive. That's whack. We need somebody out there trying to play to win. God damn it. The Rams beat the Colts in overtime as well. But let me tell you, when Anthony Richardson's healthy, yeah, Colts got a guy. Colts got a guy there. I like Anthony Richardson. As long as he can stay healthy. That's a dude. That's a dude right there.
For everyone at home, Ryan also liked Drew Lock.
So did Pete.
Wow. Whoa, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
did you see him on Monday night? That was fun.
Yeah.
Watch him slinging around.
And hold up. Don't compare Anthony Richardson to Drew Lock. That kid is athletic, and he looks pretty good. When I'm
Yeah.
looking at the quarterback, I mean, he looks better than Bryce Young.
I don't disagree with you there.
Now, is he the best quarterback looking out of that class right now? No, but we're going to get into that. But then that quarterback also has something called, I played at Ohio State, so give it time.
Understandable.
Let's give it time. Now, this one, I feel like this is the only reason BK decided I should try to make this show. So I'm going to just go right to you, BK. Is Joe Burrow bad? Or, like, what's going on?
All right, I gotta stop laughing. I don't know. What I think happened is that Invasion of the Body Snatchers happened. I think someone took Joe Burrow as we know it, and it is impersonating Joe Burrow on the field. And you know what? I'm all here for it. Sign me up for a whole. I'll take this for the next decade. And look, it's not that I hate Joe Burrow, because actually, I think he's a great ball player. I think he gives back to the community. He's a great person. And P2 knows this. Like, we were big fans of him at LSU. I didn't want him to go in division. So the sooner he leaves the division, the sooner I'll be cheering for him to be great and win MVPs. But he's staying in the division, so I don't want him to do well. I feel like that's a very reasonable thing to want. But just Joe Burrow, since signing that big contract, more money than Lamar Jackson. eek. That doesn't look good. He just doesn't look good at all. And I think part of it too is he's a little banged up right now, and he's trying to gut through it. Hold him out, I guess. Like that's where Taylor and the medical crew just needs to. Hey, just get healthy, man. Take off like a month. And I know that almost sounds a little crazy in an NFL football season, but just take off like a solid month and just get healthy and just get ready for the stretch run because we do have a longer season now. So I think they can still afford it. What are they, 1-3?
Yeah.
So, but with the expanded playoffs, they can still make the playoffs. It is still within earshot. But I don't think with this version of playing hurt Joe Burrow, they're going to make the playoffs. And because the defense is still not bad. I would say it's okay to good, but it's not good to great like it was before. They lost a lot of wily free agents, guys who wanted to say, hey, they signed for a small contract. They signed a contract there. Then they played well. They signed elsewhere. Kind of also is happening. Their offensive line is still bad. Like even after making signings, like we've talked about bad signings for the Bears, the Bengals have had bad offensive line signings because he's still under pressure consistently. Or maybe part of that at this point is this part of the design by Zach Taylor? I don't know. It's just like Bills and running backs at this point. Like Bills just don't really know how to run the ball or design an offense around it to be balanced. So, but am I enjoying Joe Burrow bad? Yes. I'm not going to lie.
As somebody that's got Jamar Chase in a few leagues, not enjoying it. Not enjoying it at all. Would like Joe Burrow to be good and snap back to it. But yeah, I think great point. He's banged up. I mean, that's for sure right now. Like obviously, the calf isn't 100%. Whatever else is he's banged up with, because it just looks wildly bad. Just not good.
I mean, it's bad. I think the calf injury is bad. He doesn't fall off like this. I think the calf injury is worse than what people know about. But this also goes on Zach Taylor. This 100% goes on Zach Taylor. Design a game plan that works. You have it's not like they don't have weapons. I mean, yes, T. Higgins just recently got hurt, but even before that, the offense was struggling. Figure out an offense.
Yeah.
Like, just figure out a quick game. Like, I mean, I know I talked about it a few weeks ago. Like, when Rodgers got hurt, had the calf injury, they went out of the pistol, and they changed their offense for a few weeks. Yes, they lost, but they made it all the way to the NFC Championship, like with that team. So you can figure it out. So this is on Zach Taylor, but they also have to look out for the best interest of Joe Burrow. Like BK brought up a good point. Like he's not making them better. He's not. And this is clearly not him just regressing that bad. He's clearly hurt. So they got to figure that out. But they also, I mean, like their backup quarterback isn't great either. But I mean, who has a great backup quarterback except for the Colts with Minshew Mania? So. Yeah,
Minshew Mania, dude. Joining the show as well from Twitch.tv/UndeadBlackBull, UndeadBlackBull himself, David. Hello. This is more normal now. Joining the show halfway through, I appreciate that.
Very welcome. I appreciate it. I just got off work, so it works out.
Oh, good.
It's only a nice 5 o'clock in the afternoon over here.
Oh, ooh, fantastic. You just got off work. I'm going to work. It's a great time.
BK and them about to go to bed. Yeah.
Yeah. I just love it, dude.
What? Say that again?
Said
you guys are about to go to sleep.
Yeah. Yep.
I never sleep now. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like how the Packers don't play on Thursdays. BK doesn't sleep. Got it. Copy that. That's where we're at.
Wow.
That's where we're at. Well, you said they didn't play. It didn't exist. It's not real.
I don't know. I feel like that was a shot. There's more that I could do, but I'm just not going to do it.
It's okay, dude. The Bears aren't going to play tomorrow either, buddy. Don't worry. It's okay. I hope for everybody's sake we don't have to watch it. It's fine. All right, so the Bills show up and absolutely bully the Dolphins. That was really cool. The Dolphins coming off that 70-point game against the Broncos, who are really bad. They play a really good team, Buffalo. Buffalo, actually, what was so good about that was Buffalo showed they could hang, and Buffalo could actually be a dominant team. I know some people were kind of down on Buffalo, just trying to see what they could do. That was pretty good. What else we got? The Vikings survived the battle 0-3, everybody. They did it. They survived it. The Panthers move on to 0-4, but the Vikings get a dub, which also means the Vikings did avoid dropping into my bottom 5 of the week, just so everybody knows. They avoided it. So, doing all right there. The Ravens whoop up on the Cleveland Browns with no Deshaun Watson. I was, hearing from some Browns fans that, they don't need Watson. They'll be all right. They like the kid out of UCLA. Nope. Yep, not good. But BK, the Ravens, they're rolling right now, dude. Rolling pretty good. Lamar looked good this week, too.
Yeah, he's actually one of the most accurate QBs in the NFL right now. I think people are forgetting that. And he's making some tough throws, like tight windows and everything. He had a great throw to Mark Andrews over the weekend. Then he had a really great one to Melvin Gordon. He's had a lot of nice tight window throws. He just has to clean up the fumbling issues that were occurring earlier in the year. He's doing a little bit better, but I still just want to see just make us feel better. But yeah, he's playing good. And DTR, the Ravens historically have a very good defense, and they always play well against rookie quarterbacks. So kind of felt bad for him to a certain degree. I don't think DTR played terrible. I don't think he played good. So I think he was in that bad to okay zone. So which is I feel like that's the most you could ask for out of the kid in that scenario.
Now let's talk about bad. Let's just talk about bad. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers. My goodness. That offense is awful. Awful. The fact that Matt Canada's still there is a joke. Somebody's got to be held accountable. Tomlin, the Rooneys, somebody. Got to be held accountable there, dude. That's bad. Kenny Pickett just not showing any signs. Is that all Kenny? Is it Kenny's that bad? Is it because the offense is so bad? Probably a little bit of both. But on the flip side with Houston, CJ Stroud, dude, looking like a baller out of Ohio State, though. So remember that. Keep that in the back of your mind. He is from Ohio State. But CJ Stroud, honestly, dude, looking really good. I saw some of his press conference, talking about, hyping up the Texans fans and stuff. And that's cool, man. He's doing all right things. I think that's a Texans team that pretty good, dude. Not like pretty good for the sense of like where they're going, their trajectory, right? I mean, this is a division that's not very good. I don't know how good Jacksonville really is. Titans are poop, not good at all. And the Colts, it kind of depends on how healthy Richardson can even stay. So what CJ Stroud's doing down there in Houston, pretty good, dude. Not gonna lie, pretty good for Ohio State quarterback to start. You know what I mean? I bet.
He's been pretty impressive, and like Ryan, the amount of times that you keep saying Ohio State quarterback, I don't know how any of our listeners will not know that CJ Stroud went to Ohio State.
I just want everybody to know.
Yeah, but no, he's looked really good so far. He really has, and that's a guy like D'Amico Ryans. He's done a great job so far here in Houston. So yeah, I mean they kind of dog walked the Steelers this weekend. So, and Stroud looked good. So, I mean, Nico Collins looking pretty good. They, got some young guys. Houston's fun. And good for them. And I don't know if you're Carolina, you got to be maybe looking at like, did we make a mistake? Did we make a mistake at number one? Because CJ Stroud looks really good.
Yep. See, you take a quarterback that's like my height. You know what I mean? That's tough. It's tough. That's what happens, dude. So, yeah, no. I mean, yeah, if I'm Carolina, I'm also looking for a number one receiver. So, hey, what are you going to do? Yeah.
That's just hilarious to me. Yeah. Imagine if they had one last year.
Would have been crazy.
Wow.
Man.
Good to think about.
Wild thought, that one.
Tough. David,
CJ Stroud hasn't thrown a pick yet, right?
No. He also threw a completion to himself at one point this season too. So like, pretty good. Pretty good.
Look, and he had to play the Ravens defense week 1, and I didn't think he did not play bad. And I know we were talking about Eberflus being a defensive mind, and just like Bears defense is bad. D'Amico Ryans, Texas defense with like really no stars or studs at all. Solid defensive unit, and the offense doesn't look bad. D'Amico Ryans could be coach of the year already.
Yeah.
Stud. I do love me some D'Amico Ryans. I also love me some Justin Herbert. Continues to impress. Had a good game out there for LA. Khalil Mack, though, 6 sacks in one game, dude. Hell yeah. I was hyped. I was hyped for my boy Khalil Mack. Real quick, though, David, Justin Herbert, looking pretty good, dude. Pretty good.
Yes, he is. But you know, Mac, he only does his sacks in waves, right? So
Okay.
he'll wait like 3 games and then do another 3 sacks.
He now has more sacks in one game than the Bears do all season.
And
Yeah.
He's also the leading sack leader of the year with this one game.
Yeah. Absolute stud, dude. Khalil Mack, just remember. Former Bear, guys. Former Bear. I mean, Dallas rolls New England. That is what it is. That's gross. It is what it is. I mean, Patriots are bad. They're not good. But Christian McCaffrey had 4 touchdowns. That's pretty cool for San Francisco. That team, again, continues to just roll, dude. Just continues to roll. They're a juggernaut. It is what it is. San Francisco's really good. Really, really good. Now, what wasn't good, I guess, Sunday night? One, there's a lot of Taylor Swift coverage, right? I don't know. If that's your vibe, that's cool. I don't mind T Swift. I love T Swift, but like NFL's getting a little excessive about it, maybe. Get a little obsessive with Taylor Swift, but that's fine. I will say, Mahomes, you had a chance to cover the spread, and you're kind of an asshole. You're kind of an asshole for sliding at the goal line. Kind of a dick. So, respectfully, go fuck yourself, Patrick. You know what I mean? Respectfully. Fuck you. And that's what he gets for Zach Wilson outdueling him. Okay? That's what he gets. Zach Wilson is statistically the first quarterback Mahomes ever has played against, college and NFL, that performed better than him across the board. That's crazy. I don't know what was going on, right? Maybe Zach Wilson saw Blake Lively was there. I understand. I would have played good for Blake Lively, too. Not only was Taylor Swift there, we had Deadpool there, Wolverine there. It was a whole vibe, dude. It was a whole vibe on Sunday night in New York. Aaron Rodgers was there, right? He was on the sidelines, doing his thing. Looks like he's moving pretty well. Not bad.
Yep.
Honestly. Not bad, dude. All that, whatever he's smoking on and doing, it's working. It's working for Aaron Rodgers. But I'll go to you first here, Pete. The Chiefs, like, struggling against the Jets, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
No, I didn't have that either. I kind of was, a little surprised by that. All right, before I get into that, I'm just so sick of the whole MetLife having the Sunday night, Monday night thing. Let's just get over it. Both teams kind of stink. Let's be honest. Let's just get over it, especially the Giants. Let's stop putting the Giants on prime time. At least when the Jets play, at least like they look competent because their defense is good. All right, let's just get into that. So I wanted to throw that out there because I'm sick of night games and MetLife all the time. All right.
Pete, they got the locked in. The first 6 weeks are locked in based off last season, so they can't flex any of them out yet. So we're stuck.
Yes,
it's like
no,
Denver
dude,
last
I get
year.
that, but the
It's
whole
like Denver
back-to-back
last year. We
night
had
thing,
Denver
let's
4
get
weeks
over
in a
it.
row of prime time
Yeah.
because they got Russ Wilson. We were stuck with it.
No, I get that. I understand that. I'm saying, like, let's just stop the whole Sunday night Monday thing about, like just acting like the Giants are good because they're not. Like, let's just get off of that. It's just ridiculous. But to the Jets Chiefs game, Zach Wilson might have, and I know it's just one game, but some of the throws Zach Wilson was making, might be. I don't think Zach Wilson's that bad. I honestly don't think Zach Wilson's that bad. I think this is the guy that's getting more comfortable with the offense because some of the throws he was making against Kansas City were pretty legit. Were pretty good throws. Kansas City's defense really isn't that bad. Like, it's really not that bad. So if you're a Jets fan, I know there's no moral victories, but you got to feel kind of okay because if they played, I don't know, probably like half of the NFL, if not more, they probably win that game on Sunday night. But they were just playing Kansas City, and they had a really bad first quarter. That was it. I mean, the rest of the game, the Jets kind of dominated. And Ryan, you brought up the point. I mean, if you were a Taylor Swift fan and you were just tuning in for the first time, you definitely would have thought Zach Wilson was Patrick Mahomes, the way he played. Like, you definitely would have thought that because Zach Wilson played pretty well. So, and, like, I mean, they got Denver this week. So it's not like they're playing a great defense. So if I'm a Jets fan, I don't feel too bad because if they can get anything on their offense, they'll be fine because that defense is legit.
Yeah, absolutely. Oof, man. And yeah, as Pete already mentioned, Giants are bad. Giants are bad. Don't know why we got to do this. Go ahead.
Well, it's last year we had Giants and the Vikings. They were kind of both the playoff fraud teams. We were like, we were like, we don't really think these teams are good, but they're here. We're paying attention. So
Yeah.
like, we all felt that way as football fans. So why did they do that to us? They knew. P2 has a great point. But then also counterpoint to you, Ryan. Zach Wilson stealing Blake Lively away from Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds. I don't see it, dude. I don't see like.
Oh, no, I didn't see it either,
Zach
but I just
Wilson
felt like, you know.
stealing Blake Lively away from Ryan Reynolds. Like, I mean, Zach Wilson's got like MILF cougar powers.
I was just
No,
saying
he's got nothing on Deadpool.
No, you're right. I was
Nothing.
saying that he just knew there was a MILF in the house that was like top
Oh,
tier,
okay.
so he was like, I gotta ball out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because her friends are watching and they have a book club
Yes.
that I'm trying to get invited to.
Yes,
Gotcha.
exactly.
That was his
chicken
thinking.
soup for
Right
Zach
there.
Wilson's soul, baby. Exactly. What a vibe. Oh yeah, no. Listen, big Ryan Reynolds guy. That's okay. His name's Ryan. You know what I mean? We're all together. We're like a unit. We're like a team. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the Giants
What's
are
up?
bad. It's cool. Go ahead, PK. I want to cut you off.
No, nothing. No, you're good. It was a bad joke. So I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Okay. Yeah, Giants bad. Cool. Get them off. We're done with it. Don't want to see it no more. Awful. I think they have to play the Bills in a couple weeks. Oh god. Oh god. On Sunday Night Football. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. It's gonna be awful. Absolutely awful. Okay. Now, that's the week that was. Let's get to the week that is. Let's talk about Thursday Night Football Parlay. As I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the NFL show, we didn't hit. A couple of things didn't happen because the Lions got off to such a lead that like they just stopped throwing the ball, so it kind of wasn't good for our bet. It's all right. It's fine. We'll come back stronger this week. This week, I didn't like anything. Didn't like nothing. Didn't even want to touch this game, but for the sake of the show, we have to. You've got the Bears versus the Washington Commanders. Some of the things that we have marked here. Brian Robinson, anytime touchdown. Komet, 25-plus yards receiving. Commanders money line, absolutely. Sam Howell, 225 yards passing plus. DJ Moore, over 3.5 receptions. And Scary Terry McLaurin, over 4.5 receptions. I like it. I really didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to touch Justin at all just because he's coming off of this game. I don't know what he's going to look like against Washington. The Sam Howell 225 does make me feel weird. I don't know how much I like that. Looking at it now, just because, I don't know. I mean, I know Washington's line. It's going to be weird, dude. Washington's line's so bad, but, like, the Bears' defensive pass rush is so bad. So, like, is Sam Howell going to have all day to throw? He might. He honestly might. David, I'll ask you, is there anything that you think you don't like or you'd like to add to this parlay?
I don't like the 5 receptions basically for Scary Terry.
Yeah, you're nervous. You're nervous. Copy that.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I feel like it's gonna be 4.
Oh,
I feel like he's gonna be the deep threat, but I don't know. But if you're doing
I agree with
225
David.
yards, you need some yards from your receivers you can throw in there. Because if he's got to throw for 225, you need, your receivers are gonna do something.
yeah.
Hal looks a lot for Dotson. What's the reception mark? What's the
Let's see,
spot
dude.
for Dotson?
Probably like
receptions?
3.5. I would assume.
I would honestly go Dotson over McLaurin.
Dotson is at 3.5. 3.5.
Damn, I'm
Am I
good at it.
crazy, David? Am I crazy?
Not
Like
even
Dotson
looking. I
over
already knew it was
McLaurin?
3.5. Yeah, just go with it.
Let's see, dude. Let's see. Let's take a look at
You may want to go with what's the 25 yards for Dotson as well. If he's getting 3 receptions, he's probably getting 25 yards.
Oh yeah, dude, throw it in.
Big fan.
Throw it in. All right.
See, this is how my prop bet mind works, right? So if they're getting at least 4.5 receptions, right, for Scary Terry, he's easily got to get 25 yards, or else he's not even running.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
It's true. Oh god, I did 3/5 instead of 3.5. Oof. Let's see. Dotson over 25 yards. I gotta do all this at the end. But also right now on FanDuel, which is how I do it. But they do have a profit boost, 50% profit boost right now on Thursday Night Football. So if you do want to rock and roll with the gang on Thursday Night Football, you can do that on FanDuel. So there you go. After the show, David, we do have Pete introduced me to another sports app that I'm going to have to talk to you about, but we'll talk about that after the show.
I won't be able to do it, but yeah.
No, not yet. But you'll be able to do
I'm
it
in
at some
the lovely
point.
state of California.
Oh, man. Some would say not quite free at all, right? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see if maybe we have the fringe right listeners. I didn't know. Didn't know if we do or not, but shout out to him. Woo! This is how I know it's almost time for me to go to work. All right. We got our weekly picks. I gotta do my power ranking. Shit. Sorry. Okay. Top 5. Green Machine's top 5.
Curious
Okay.
on your top 5. Let's hear it.
My top 5 teams after week 3. At number 5, Miami Dolphins. I gave them the number 1 last week just for respect of putting up 70 points because it's cool. I'm putting them at 5. Putting them at 5 this week. At number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 4, and 5 to me felt like a toss-up, just so everybody is aware, right? Got 4 for the Eagles, and the Chiefs are at 3. Kind of felt like a toss-up. Could have moved them at all 3 of those teams anywhere I really wanted on my list, but that's where they're at. The Chiefs could have been probably 2 if they would have really just dominated the Jets like they should have, but they struggled, so I'm going to keep them at 3. At number 2, gotta put the Buffalo Bills. No one circles the wagon like Buffalo. So I'm going to put the Bills at 2. And at number 1, really where they belong, they probably shouldn't have even been at number 2 last week, the San Francisco 49ers. The juggernaut, the team in the NFL right now to beat. So that's my top 5. San Francisco, Buffalo, Kansas City, Philly, and Miami. Those are my top 5. Top 5 teams. Honorable mention, the Cowboys. They were on my honorable mentions as well. Right outside top 5. I didn't want to bump any of those teams out of the 5, but there we are. My 5 worst teams in the NFL right now. At number 5, the Raiders. Yeah, not good. They're not good. They're just not a good football team. They're going to probably compete for a top 5 draft pick, so shout out to them. They're not very good. At number 4, the Jets. I did like what they did against Kansas City, and Zach Wilson played really well, and the team played good. But again, I still just know that's not a good team. They're not very good. Minnesota almost made it into my 5, but they did beat Carolina, so I'll put them ahead of these teams. At number 3, the 0-4 Carolina Panthers. That team does suck. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if they're worse than Bears or Broncos. I just don't know. I'm unsure.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I told you last week it wasn't going to change. I told you last
I
week.
know.
Didn't matter who was going to win this game, but I will say it will be the Broncos as my second worst team in the NFL because they did beat the Bears, but they're also really bad. And then the worst team in the NFL again, the Chicago Bears. The Niners stay as my top dog. The Bears stay as my bottom just garbage team. And that's just how it should be right now until things change. So those are my 5 worst teams, my 5 best teams, guys, from Green Machine. We'll see next week how we do. I don't see a lot of movement on the bottom, honestly. Doesn't seem like that's going to change too much. But maybe the top changes a little bit, but we're pretty locked in right now with San Francisco until further notice. Now, where we stand on weekly picks, BK is in the lead with 14 points. David and Nick right behind him at 13. Pete with 12 and myself with 9. Not a great start for me, but We're gonna rally through this. We're gonna push through. Let's start. New Orleans favored by 1 on the road versus New England. Pete, who you got?
God, do I feel awful about this pick, but give me New England. Give me New England, especially if Derek Carr plays. My God, like he can't even throw it 5 yards, and they're trotting out this guy. And then the best part was they bring in Jameis for the end of the game against Tampa. Throws one, picked off, going deep. You know what? All Chris Olave fantasy people,
Sucks.
and I am one of those. Put out Jameis, for God's sakes. Let Jameis cook, because Derek Carr cannot throw the football right now. I don't care who it is, but I do like New England in this bounce back. They got spanked against Dallas. I just like them at home. But yeah, either one of these two teams, don't feel great about.
BK.
I'm picking New Orleans, but I don't like it. Like I said, Derek Carr's back, but also like New England is just off. Like that, they have a very bad defense. They're probably the worst New England defense since Bill Belichick's been there, which is like just shockingly bad. And then just offensively, they're just. It's like they lost kind of like that creativity slash ability just to like cheat, since like there's actually more rules in place now. It's harder for them to cheat. So I think that's why they're just looking so bad offensively.
David.
I'm going with New Orleans. Kind of touching base on what BK said, but I'm going with because of the New Orleans defense to make plays to help them win this game.
I'm gonna go New Orleans too. I liked what they did with Kamara last week. What do you have? 13 catches. That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. But I loved it. To point of BK, with New England's defense is really bad. So we'll see how New Orleans does look. But yes, please put Jameis Winston in, dude. Just let him cook. Great call, Pete. Let this man cook, because I can't deal with Olave getting like half a point, dude. Just it's
ridiculous.
It is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Jesus. Carolina versus Detroit. Detroit favored by 9.5. BK.
Rawr, Lions. Like I feel great about this. It should have been like 12.5. Yeah.
David.
And I wonder when the last time the Lions were favored by 9.5. But I'm going with the Lions.
Yeah. Pete.
Yeah, I'm going Detroit. Detroit might have 9.5 sacks in this game. That's more of the intriguing thing. What they hit the over under on that? Like that they could have that. I think this is not a good game. I think for Bryce Young, he could be running for his life.
You can actually bet on that. So I think you could bet like 6 sacks or something. I know last week it was like plus 4,500 or something for like 6 sacks.
Might be looking into that bad boy.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to take Detroit as well. They look really good. Carolina is bad, like really, really bad. And you might have to see some Andy Dalton in this game. Might have to see some Andy Dalton come in. Tough. The Giants face Miami. Miami favored by 10.5. David, who you got?
We're going to go with Miami here. I don't even think we need to talk about it. So, yeah.
Pete?
Giants are. Oh God, no! Absolutely, give me Miami. Big bounce back this week for Tua in the Dolphins.
BK?
Fins up, baby.
Yeah, I'm going Miami as well. They might break the most points scored in a game record this week. Who knows? Might do it. Might just revenge on after getting beat by Buffalo. They're like, yeah, should take poor advantage of Danny Dimes and this Giants team. That's gross. Houston versus Atlanta. Atlanta at home, favored by 2. Pete.
Give me Houston. Give me Houston this game. Atlanta, to me, it's just like Arthur Smith. God, he has all the weapons, and they just can't figure it out. So, like, just based on that principle of him just pissing me off, give me Houston. And also, Houston been playing well.
BK.
Well, I agree. Well, I'm not sure if it's all Arthur Smith. Like, is Desmond Ritter just not is he capable of leading the offense? Like, they have a capable backup in Taylor Heineke. Like, Heineke will actually go make plays. Like, he will. And just, so I don't know. Like, I'm taking Houston. They're a fun team to watch. And guess what? Atlanta's not. They do have one fun player in Bijan, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. David, who you got?
Man, I'm torn because we talked about this before. Riddler has not lost a home game, so
It's true.
like ever. So we'll have to see how this works out because I think he could lose this week, but we'll see. He's obviously proven us wrong many times because he hasn't lost one at home, so we'll see. But I'm going Houston.
You know, C.J. Stroud, I don't know if you guys know, played for Ohio State. I'm gonna take Houston. Take Houston here. Just let it see how it goes. Houston, like Pete said, playing good football, dude. Playing good football right now. And Atlanta, just for the fact of just wasting Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson right now. Just, yeah, I'm gonna go with Houston. It's really upsetting. Then we got Cincinnati versus Arizona. Cincinnati is favored by 3, but man, Arizona has played tough football. BK, who you got?
I'm taking Arizona, another fun team to watch. And I mean, Josh Dobbs, talk about a guy who was signed weeks before the starting for the year started. And I mean, he's not playing perfect football, but he's balling out. He's taking his shot. He will act like hugging football, like Jameis Winston style. He's just like, like I saw him he made one read one time, like to the left side of the field. He's like, that guy's not open, and he just ran straight to the right. It was great. He was like, not open, 2 seconds, ran. I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, this is football.
Oh yeah. David, who do you have? Oh, maybe. No.
Either my internet's messing up
Oh.
or I'm losing Ryan.
Oh,
Oh, no.
it could be a little bit of both, but
Oh, no.
I know I'm on hotel Wi-Fi, all right, but
that's true. Could be me. Who you got? Cincinnati or Arizona? Oh, maybe you're losing me. Oh yeah, it's
just
me.
getting worse.
Oh, it's me. Yeah. Oh. It was very loud. All right. We're good. We're back on track. David, Cincinnati or Arizona?
Cincy. I think it's going to be a push, but I'm going Cincy.
All right, awesome. I will also take Cincinnati here. Don't feel great about it, but I will take Cincinnati here. All right, bonus bet of the week for each of us. Petey Tahiti.
Hey, what about Pete?
Oh, shit, yeah. Pete, Arizona or Cincinnati? Sorry, I honestly forgot where I left off at because my internet died, but it's fine. Good.
Wow. You know what? Respect. Thanks, David. Give me Arizona. I've been bashing them basically since week 1. They screwed me last week on the 14 that San Francisco had. But you know what? Let's go back with it. Give me Arizona at home against Cincinnati. -3.
I hope they screw you again. You're welcome.
Whoa. I won't touch this game in my actual bets, though. I won't touch it. All right.
Never.
Bonus bet, Pete, who you got?
Give me the best team in football, the San Francisco 49ers, to cover the 3.5 at home against Dallas. Sunday Night Football. That should be a good one.
See, David, that's why I'm going to take a nap, so I'm able to watch Sunday Night Football with you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's for.
I gotcha.
That's what
I
it's
thought
for.
it was going to be in one of our picking because it was such a good game. So, but it's cool.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe it should have been.
We
Oops.
probably all were going to go San Francisco anyway, so that's probably why we didn't need to do it.
That's true. That's true. BK, who's your bonus bet?
Take Baltimore -4 at the Steelers. Lamar's playing well. Pittsburgh's not. I can see Baltimore winning by 6.
David, your bonus pick?
I'm torn, right? So I put Buffalo over Jacksonville at 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in London, so I feel like it's gonna screw me. But you know what I'm looking at? You know the Broncos are favorite right now to beat the Jets, minus
Ooh.
1.5. Yeah. I know it's in Denver, but they got the white. I'm gonna stick with my Buffalo one, but I like that one. I'm looking at that. That one looks nice.
I like that one too, David. I was tempted on that one too because I saw, with Denver being favorite, I was like,
Yeah, David. I don't know. I don't like it.
I will take Kansas City -4 versus the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, the Vikings beat Carolina, but they're not good. I think Kansas City, after what happened in the Meadowlands, will have a bounce back game against the poor defense in Minnesota. So that is our picks for the week, and that does it for the show. As always, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It's at AMNationPod. Hit the follow button on all of those. Listen to podcasts on podcast services on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more. Just search Amalgamation Nation. Also, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/AMNationPod. Hit that bell. We appreciate that very much. Twitch.tv/UndeadBlackBull is where you find David. You give him a follow and a sub. If you have Amazon Prime, you do get a free Twitch Gaming sub a month, so give it to Undead Black Bull. Until next time, everybody, have a great week. Enjoy some football, and you stay breezy.